So you know times are tough when even doctors and nurses are being laid off. But this is exactly what we've been going through for several months. And now some are calling this the Trump effect. But just listen to this.
I don't know if y'all know this, but they have been cutting a lot of doctors. I just seen a video and I had to go Google this. They are cutting doctors. Okay, like people are working until the end of the month, and then after that, they don't have a job, or of course, they have to go find a job as a doctor. You mean to tell me that this world is so want money so bad for all this other stuff that's really not important? So we're gonna cut doctors? I read it and it's pretty much said they're cutting doctors, especially at the VA. It said the VA has a 95% low rate on having doctors. It's lower than normal, 95%. Okay? That when it comes time to set appointments, that your appointments can be booked out for months and months. Like, this is August. You couldn't probably see a doctor until like November, right? So I don't think people are paying attention to what's going on. If we don't have doctors, what are we doing?
It's true. I actually talked to somebody just the other day. They set an appointment at the VA, and guess what? It's not just a couple months out. They were told their first available appointment is on February, I think 6th. February 6th. Yep, we look forward to seeing you in February. It is September. It is September, and they got to wait till February 6th for their appointment. How crazy is that? That just shows we don't have enough doctors. We also don't have enough nurses. Look at this.
What up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So today on Nurses in the News, Kaiser Permanente, the healthcare giant, is laying off nurses in California. Yes, Kaiser sent out 42 layoff notices to nurses working in outpatient clinics, mainly GI, OB, and mental health at San Rafael and Petaluma. They were giving the nurses 60 days. They're saying that they have about 400 open positions across the health system in California, and the nurses have time to transition into another job within their healthcare system if they want to stay with Kaiser Permanente.
What's interesting about what she's just saying, they have like 400 open positions. Well, guess what? We see this all the time where companies tell somebody, hey, we have to get rid of your position, but we have all these other open positions that you can apply for. Just go and fill out an application, and chances are you're likely going to get it. You know why? Companies do this, and hospitals do this as well. They close one position, but they open another for the exact same person. Okay, instead of transitioning them. You know why? Because if you see your position go away and you have to apply for a different one, there's a very good chance you are coming in at the new position at a new rate, meaning that hospital is likely going to save money. That's what they're doing. Okay, we've seen this before. It's nothing new, but yet many people think, oh, well, I'll be perfectly fine because I'll just go transition over here. You can, but the concern is you're likely not going to get paid exactly what you're getting paid before. Your benefit package could be completely different as well. Let's keep listening to this, though.
Who would have thought doctors would lose their jobs? But doctors are being laid off as well as nurses. And I've been doing the research, and this is the conclusion that I've come to. The Medicare fees that were being charged to Medicare by hospitals and or clinics were so inflated and so high.
This is what they're calling the Trump effect. Because remember, the Biden administration approved a lot of this additional funding. President Trump and the Trump administration have now cracked down on it. That's why the previous funding that they're getting was so inflated. Now they're stopping it.
And had so much profit built in that now that they've been reduced and now they're at the levels where they're supposed to be, the people who wrote the budgets didn't account for this. Therefore, it's going to look like they're losing money and they're not profitable. So like every other corporation out there, when you're chasing a number, if you're publicly traded, the easiest way to get there is to cut staff. And you'll hear these doctors say, I had lines. There was 6 months worth of appointments set up. It doesn't matter. If the hospital doesn't see the profit, the people that get cut first are those that work on salary. So they're going to have to take some time to adjust back down to where they were actually supposed to be, what they're supposed to be billing Medicare instead of the inflated numbers that were being allowed. And that is exactly why we see so many doctors and nurses being laid off.
That's true. Exactly what he's saying is true. That they were getting so much funding from the federal government, from the states, that now that the states are rolling back, the federal government isn't giving out all this money. They are now realizing that they were giving doctors and nurses, some of their wages were just so high, outrageously high. But we're also seeing where we are not paying what we used to when we go to the doctor's office. Okay? It's actually come down a little bit. And so that right there is good for the American people. The concern now is what happens if all these people lose their job. Look at this though. I want to read this to you. It says 70 hospitals and healthcare systems are cutting jobs. This right here, okay, this is called Becker's Hospital Review. Now, on this site, this gets updated. I remember when this was like 30 some hospitals. Then it went to 53. Now it's up to 70. But you can see here, okay, you see in Brewer, Maine, they're going to, Northern Light Health, reduced its workforce by 308 positions, or 3%. This one, Asperis Health, reduces staff by 7 certified nursing assistant roles in August. Here's some different ones. You can kind of pause the video and read it if you want to. Okay. Here's another one. Restructuring of 750 employees in Roseville, California. Okay. And again, this is just August right here. Go down here, July. Okay. You get the idea. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but it's called Becker's Hospital Review. It started with 20 hospitals. 20 hospitals were going to be making cuts. Then it went to 30 something, 53, now it's at 70. We'll see what happens. But again, that's just the start. Look at this one as well. It says Children's Hospital in Los Angeles to cut 439 jobs amid their financial strain. Okay, there's that one. Here's a Mayo Clinic in Austin. Nurses are given 90-day layoff warning. Says clinic leadership refuses to discuss numbers. It's turning into an issue. Okay? But what you need to keep in mind is that people are going to be given offers, some interesting offers. That, oh, if you take this offer, we're gonna buy you out. Okay, we want to give you early retirement. You've worked here long enough. Let's give you early retirement. Just go and lay by the beach somewhere. Well, that's not really how it works. The reason why a lot of these companies are offering early retirement is because they don't want to lay you off. They want you to just retire. If they lay you off, they are going to have some costs involved. But they don't know what those costs are going to look like till the end of your unemployment. Listen to this though.
I don't know if your hospital is about to go through a major layoff or closure. 2 warning signs that you don't want to miss. Last week I reported there were up to 41 hospitals with major layoffs and closures. Now we're up to 51, and it's just a week later, halfway through July. Why this is important is because you don't want to be on your heels when they make this announcement. You can prepare ahead of time, get ahead of the curve. The first one is sneaky. Companies are going to offer an early retirement option. Yale just announced this yesterday. Not always, but most of the time, it decreases the amount that they have to reduce in force from a non-voluntary perspective. The second way of knowing if a company is about to lay off is you can always check the WARN notice list. This can vary state by state, but it basically provides several different stipulations that companies must issue. Google WARN, go to your state, click 2025, and then you can just scroll and it will literally tell you the letter and how many positions that they're expecting to lay off. Don't be caught unaware. Use this information to inform yourself, be prepared, get ready. Use this as a career transition to better yourself and your career and possibly your work-life balance. I don't know if your hospital...
There you go. So, if you don't know, this is something that they do. It's called the WARN Act, where they warn you about who's going to conduct layoffs. And so you can go to warn, just warn employees, Washington State, and you'll be able to see exactly how many employees and which companies are planning to do the layoffs, okay, and pretty much when. But again, I bring all this up because we're being told that healthcare is the safest industry to get into because they never lay off employees. It just grows. It's bigger, 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 bigger. Well, no, they do experience layoffs. They will cut jobs. They will reduce your benefits. They'll reduce your hours, reduce your wages if they have to. But what's interesting about this is so many people are going to doing their residency. They're going and working at other hospitals, and they do this for quite some time because they want to be a doctor. They want to be a nurse. They want to expand their career. But what's interesting about this, and I want to play another clip for you, is that right now some hospitals aren't hiring new doctors. There's so many doctors out there, so many nurses out there, they can almost pick and choose who they want. So now it's a fight for, okay, you want to work for me? Well, this is how much I'm willing to pay you. Do you accept it? Some will say no. Others will say yes. And now you got 2 or 3 people competing for the same position. Chances are you can actually get them for even less. But listen to this right here, because again, I thought this was very interesting.
I'm going to go to work with a pretty heavy heart today because 52% of my Foundation Year 2 doctors who have finished Foundation 2 yesterday, I know that they're just unemployed. They're going to be driving taxis, Uber Eats, working in Aldi or whatever. And
52% of doctors, and not all doctors, okay? I think you said like Foundation 2 or something like that. But again, they're switching their hospitals. This is what they do. They switch their hospitals. And instead of them going, or 100% going to work at a new hospital, only a small percentage are. He's saying the other ones, the 52%, are going to go and work for Uber Eats, drive taxis. So you can be a doctor here in the United States and yet you're going to go drive a taxi?
And the other 48% that are going to be joining me, I know that a lot of them have finished work yesterday at 12 o'clock and then expected to go home, pack up, move to another hospital, maybe 4 hours away, maybe 5 hours away, if they're lucky, a couple of hours away, and come on a shift at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to support them as best as I can and try and give them as much reprieve as I can, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's not like this just happened. This was years in the making. And we have to deal with it. And you as patients have to deal with it.
Yeah, good luck. So you're going to have to deal with a tired doctor. Again, they're getting rid of doctors, some of which, again, they're paid salary. And here's what's interesting, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying that this is exactly what's been happening for quite some time, is all these doctors, this is what they want. They want to be paid salary. It's, okay, I want this much, guaranteed this is how much I'm going to get. Perfect, we'll give you that. But now that you're locked in at a certain price, this is what we're going to pay you. This is your wages. We're going to add more to it. We're going to stack on the work. Additional roles, additional responsibilities. That's what you're going to get. And so again, when you go into these hospitals and clinics and you start realizing that the doctor's short with you, doesn't want to hear your crap, there's a good chance the doctor just came off another shift and again, just tired, just exhausted. That's probably what you're seeing. So just want to share it with you because right now, again, these reports that we keep seeing is this hospital's laying off people. That clinic's laying off people. In the end, the people that are going to be impacted the most, not the doctors and the nurses, it's the patients. The patients are the ones that are going to feel the effects the most. And chances are it's going to be negative. So let me know. Comment down in the comment section below. Is there a hospital or clinic in your area that is actually reducing its workforce? If you know about one, let me know down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.